We're spending a lot of time on here talking about what that one trillionaire could do, but you know what? History's full of so many moments when teenagers collectively figured out how to change the world. And yes, we need to talk about this right now because if you haven't heard, Elon Musk is now officially a trillionaire. A trillionaire. Can you say hoarder? But when we hear numbers like that, I think it's really easy for us all to start thinking that power only belongs to those people. The trillionaire, the billionaires, the politicians, the corporations, the people making decisions in rooms we will never be invited into. But Gen Z and Gen Alpha need to know that over the course of history, we have seen that collections of literal teenagers and 20-somethings can change things. We can start with Birmingham, Alabama in the early 1960s, 1963 in particular. There was segregation in schools. For those of you that don't know that term, that simply means that there were laws that meant that white kids went to one school and black kids were not allowed in that school. They went to other schools. And let's be clear, those other schools did not have the same resources. Civil rights leaders were organizing protests against this system, but many of the adults had jobs that they couldn't be gone from because they had families. They needed paychecks. So students stepped up to fill the need of where protesting needed to happen. High schoolers, middle schoolers, teenagers in general. And they didn't just randomly protest. They walked out of schools because schools were the problem. Cities were segregated, so they walked out of schools and into the cities. They targeted the system they were trying to change. Many were arrested. Jails started filling up. There were like fire hoses used on children. Police dogs were used against these kids. And images from these moments started filling up the media, and it swayed people's opinions. Those who had quietly ignored segregation suddenly had opinions. And most historians now agree that the Birmingham Children's Crusade was one of the key factors in getting the Civil Rights Act passed. Teenagers affected change because they refused to go unseen. They refused to be unheard. They weren't famous, they weren't wealthy, there wasn't one speech, one kid didn't go viral. Most weren't even old enough to vote, but they changed our nation. Never underestimate teenagers when they all are together in a cause. We have to remind young people that they do have power in this world, especially when this world seems to be going slightly sideways. Gen Z, go drink your water.